Firing, a determining process for porcelain production. Tang Ying, the famous director of the imperial manufactory of the Qing dynasty, once stated that firing is critical for making porcelains. It is the magic power of fire that transforms rough and lusterless greenwares into smooth and glossy porcelains. The traditional kiln, Jingdezhen, is town kiln which emerged in the Ming dynasty. It is fueled by pine wood and thus often called firewood kiln in Jingdezhen, with its highest temperature reaching around 1400 centigrade. Town kiln is mostly used for high-fired underglaze porcelain like blue and white and colored glaze porcelain. Town kiln represents the highest level of porcelain firing in Jingdezhen. Town kiln is of simple structure with one chimney and low construction cost. It is suitable for quick firing and cooling with a high rate of heat efficiency. The fuel for town kiln is pine wood, which is an ideal fuel for firing porcelain. It contains much oil and its flame is clean and sulfur-free, which is good for color generation. The firing process can be briefly summarized as filling kiln, firing and ending fire. In order to avoid the cases of flying ashes contaminating greenwares during firing process, greenwares must be first put into saggers made of fire-resistant materials. Saggers are of different sizes to cater to different greenwares. Greenwares are placed on flat fire clay cakes over a layer of sand at the bottom of saggers. Saggers are to be put into kiln after they are loaded with greenwares. It is a process named filling the kiln. Saggars are to be placed in stack according to certain rules. The front part of town kiln is wide and high, while the rear part is narrow and low. The structure leads to different temperatures at different parts of kiln, with the highest temperature up to 1200 to 1300 centigrade at the front, the medium temperature about 1100 to 1200 centigrade in the middle, and the lowest temperature about 1000 to 1100 centigrade at the rear. The temperatures at the forefront and the far rear are either too high or too low, which is unsuitable for firing quality porcelains. Therefore, saggers at these two spots are often empty, which is called blocking fire in Jingdezhen. Generally speaking, porcelains that need to be high-fired are placed in the front, and vice versa. After the kiln is filled, its gate is sealed with bricks and yellow mud, leaving two eyes at top for observing fire, a mouth in the middle for feeding pine wood, and a chamber at the bottom for taking ashes. Traditionally, females are forbidden to enter the kiln or step onto kiln. It is a superstition of Jingdezhen ceramic industry. Before setting the fire, it is a custom to worship Tongbin, the kiln god, and god of fortune. It is a household tale of the kiln god in Jingdezhen. During the Wanli reign of the Ming dynasty, the court ordered Jingdezhen to make big dragon vat to prevent fire. The dragon vat, however, was too difficult to make due to high demanding techniques. Therefore, the firing suffered repeated failures. The situation was worsened by the officials' harsh treatment against potters. In a moment of despair, a potter named Tongbin jumped into the firing kiln to make protest. To people's astonishment, the dragon vat was successfully fired afterwards. Later on, the court conferred Tongbin with the title God of Fire in order to suit the potters. From then on, people would worship him to pray for a smooth and successful firing. There are several stages for firing. The first stage is called cold firing, which is to dry the moisture in greenwares. Temperature would rise to 500 to 600 centigrade during this stage, which would last for 5 to 6 hours. The second stage is combustion, which is to dissolve carbonate, sulfate and oxidize organics such as carbon, iron compound and so on. Temperature would rise to around 1000 centigrade during this stage, which would last for about 5 hours. The third stage is reduction. Dissolving and oxidization would continue during this stage and greenwares would be transformed into porcelains. Temperature would rise to around 1300 centigrade during this stage, which would last for about 8 hours. It is a crucial point to determine when to transit from oxidization to reduction stage. The timing is determined by the firing master, who would make decision by observing the flame and samples. The fourth stage is cooling. The firing master would determine when to stop feeding pinewood. When the feeding is stopped, the fire in the kiln would linger for half an hour. Potters have to wait for 48 hours after the fire is extinguished. Then the kiln can be opened when its temperature drops to 40 centigrade. It is not likely that every piece of porcelain is fired with perfection. Unexpected cases can be caused by many factors like problems of greenwares and glaze, thickness of glaze, placement in kiln and even weather conditions. A perfect piece of porcelain is the result of favors from all aspects. The traditional Chinese porcelain production techniques has bred a unique craft, culture, a precious spirit of craftsmanship and a complete set of intangible cultural heritage. The philosophy, wisdom and temperament embodied in these techniques are important components of excellent traditional Chinese culture, which await our efforts to inherit and innovate.